Okay. Just waiting to see if we're good to go. Going to wait and see if people come in. Just shared the link on Twitter and the Facebook group. 10 people. Yeah, this is probably going to take a while. I don't know if notifications went out. Yep. Okay, well, it looks like I'm coming through loud and clear. So, this episode, I think we can wholeheartedly agree. If you did not care for last week's episode, this week's episode was better. I think overall, the pacing, the dialogue is good. Yeah, it made I told y'all that first episode had a lot of work to do. We had to jump 3 months into the future, try to grasp where the characters were. Somebody just sent me the promo for next week. Somebody just sent me the promo. Bear with me. Bear with me. Instagram sucks. Instagram sucks. Like, I'll open a video and it doesn't play it. Hang on. Okay, a lot of y'all agree this episode was better than the last one. I wanted so badly to give this episode like a 9.5. But the Zatima stuff, I don't know why it's being written this way. Hey, don't spoil it. I ain't seen the promo. Okay.
Next Wednesday. Harry's being investigated by the FBI. The past could come back to haunt them. I should be fine, right? What inspired you to seek out therapy? Get here now. I just heard them mention your name. Tyler Perry's Sistas. What inspired you to seek out therapy?
Okay, that promo for next week looks good. We got Miss Lisa popping up. We got the therapy. Everybody's going crazy at the law firm. Man. Okay, next week looks insane, but we need to talk about tonight. Okay, let's talk about tonight. Let's talk about tonight. And then we'll talk about the trailer. I think one of the weaker things was Zach. I don't like how Zach it's only been 2 episodes. I know, but even I had to point out I don't like how they're writing Zach to be so what's the term here? Blissfully ignorant. Assume that over the course of these 3 there has not been a DNA test with his DNA. We're going off of that test that she sent to them through the email, which said Aaron wasn't the father, but it didn't say Zach was the father because they didn't have his DNA, right? So I'm kind of confused. Yeah, I think at this point they're really building it up that he's not the father. I mean, they're really building it up that Zach isn't the father because you're going to have Zach ready to do whatever to provide for this baby, but then it's not going to be his. One key point I wanted to talk about. I thought it was really sweet that scene between Karen and Sabrina while they were over the phone at the bank and they were talking about the loan and stuff. I got a question. Did you notice something at the brunch when Fatima mentioned Zach starting a trust for this baby, Sabrina went trust, and she kind of looked at the floor. Why do I have the feeling Sabrina's going to tell Karen about that trust? Because remember, she knows she's having money problems, and we know Sabrina can't hold water. So I just have this feeling like, is Sabrina going to run her mouth to Karen? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Zach has a lot going for him right now, like Fatima said, and the DNA test needs to be done. Really needs to be done. But on the flip side, I was getting to the wedding date. I was about to talk about the wedding date. But on the flip side, I don't like that Fatima is acting like her season 5 self. She's clearly in her feelings. She's clearly in her feelings about Zach Jr. being the name of potentially being the name of Karen's baby when it should be when she wants it to be the name of her baby with Zach. Fatima is not pregnant. I'm talking about the baby they'll have in the future. Fatima ought to just tell Zach that. Fatima ought to just tell Zach, honestly, I wanted our baby to be named Zach Jr. How hard is that? But no, we got the Fatima who's going to not talk about what she's really feeling and then just lash out at Zach. Yeah, Fatima's right about the DNA test, but if you looked at the episode, you see what I'm saying, right? She'll talk to everybody else about what the real issue is, except for Zach. And then when she talks to Zach, it's going to be confrontational. So I don't like because last season, Zach and Fatima, yeah, I saw the promo. I saw the promo. Zach and Fatima, they took a back seat last season. It was mainly about the Michael stuff. Yeah, they had a bit of friction about the Karen and Salon fire, but most of season 6 consisted of Zach determined to get Michael from Heather. But yeah, I'm just not really feeling what they're doing right now, making Zach so airheaded and oblivious. Yeah. Um Funniest line of the episode. Funniest line of the episode. At the beginning, when Penelope caught Gary. It looks like my fiance is sniffing his ex's dirty panties and jerking off. They're clean. The way Gary just said that line, I loved it. And then on the elevator, that was some pretty serious stuff. I mean, Gary getting a bit rough with Penelope. Also, I got to give it to Sal. She is easily like my favorite or one of my favorite actors on the show in such a short amount of time because she can emote so much with just her eyes. And it's like I put on Twitter, it's not because I'm crushing or anything. This is um a legitimate compliment. She can really act. Gary's in his bag with his act. Yeah, I mean, I got to give it to Cheeto. Like he's playing Gary this season. I don't like him, but dang it, you can tell he's having fun with the character. Yeah, they're making Zach to be weak and stupid. And look, what's her face? Paige, that white employee that was telling Sabrina about, you know, making personal calls on the job. She was right about, Sabrina working that outfit, like the green. And you know me, I try not to talk about what when I really like something, I really like it, but I wasn't really feeling the blue she was rocking at the brunch. And that's my favorite color. I was looking like, nah, that's a bit too much. I get it. Maybe it was to look different from Fatima, who was also wearing blue, but nah. Yeah, I got to go back and watch that Fatima broke character when Andy was laughing. No, Mabel is the name of an older character who's going to be at the bank, but I don't think that's Mabel Simmons. Yeah, I will say that's another reason why this episode kind of knocked off points. Some of the characters not knowing things they should A, already know, B, it's already been said to them, and all of a sudden they got a blank slate, and C, it just felt like it was plot convenient so the writers can do their thing with it. Case in point, Jordan not knowing not knowing how much Gary's worth. This dude has been dating your sister for 3 years and some change. I'm pretty sure that would have come up in conversation at some point. Point two, Sabrina acting surprised that Rich doesn't want to get married or have kids. First of all, when Rich and Tony met Danny and Sabrina at that restaurant during the blind date, they pretty much said, "Oh yeah, us including Jordan, we're all divorced. You know, we were married at one time and then we all got divorces." And these two specifically said they have no intention of getting married ever again. So all of a sudden Sabrina's acting all, "Wait, what?" And then I mean, you two have been dating for like 3 months. Something tells me y'all would have had a conversation about that at some point. Seriously. Also, excuse me, Hayden not knowing what Gary does for a living. You're his tax attorney. I thought he would know that. I thought he would know that. And also, I guess that Hayden and Andy really aren't on great terms. It's just that they were only semi cordial for the Gary conversation. And of course, for Tima and Hayden, there's no love lost between those two. And I guess the Tamara stuff got handled off screen, but just because she's gone, that doesn't mean she's oh man. Looks like I'm frozen here. Give me a second. Oh, sorry about that. I think I froze there. I apologize. Just rerouting the internet here. Should be good now. Okay. Trying to get the chat back up. Okay. But yeah, you would think that the Tamara stuff, I believe she's supposed to be in this season based on some behind the scenes stuff, but I don't know. We don't know if she signed like the annulment or she just up and left. The way Hayden says, like, "Oh, she took all my good stuff," so I thought that was mainly referring to like the wine and whatnot, not necessarily his money. But Hayden looks pretty, Oh, I'm good. Okay, because on my end the screen was just frozen. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, let me go back through the chats here. Miss Lisa's going to tell Zach to go home. Yeah, because he does look genuinely surprised that she's popping up in the truck. When Gary took that hand and just wiped it on Jordan's shirt, come on. Yeah, he's trying to sabotage Jordan because he's with Andy. And I mean, with the whole FBI thing, man, he should have never took that $100,000. If he hadn't have done that, he would have been clean. Now I guess we know why Gary's going to have that gun, because the dude's life is going to be falling apart. So he's going for broke. It's like, look, if I'm going down, everybody's going down with me. And also, like I have in my pinned comment, I have not watched The Oval yet. I will probably watch it after this live stream. And from there, take my notes. But Penelope looks like she was about to have a breakdown on that elevator. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if Gary's treating Penelope this way, I think it's safe to assume he did the same thing to Jasmine, and that's what caused her to go loop. How do Hayden not know anything about Gary? That's what I'm talking about. It's like little things like that. I'm like, nah, I think this character would know. But Penelope let Gary do that. No way I would have let. Yeah, that disrespect. I'm like, you know what he was doing with that hand. Angela, Jordan, Rich, and Tony are all regulars. Angela, Jordan. Oh, that's cool. It seems like Gary's not done putting his hand on women. Nope. Wasn't Gary talking to another woman in his office? Yes, an unidentified woman who, I don't know. She's Penelope, probably tipped off the FBI. That's another possibility. I like that. I like that. Don't get me started on Pam. Karen is literally at the cusp of running out of money from her business loan. And you got Pam buying boxes of bull reproductive specimens. This is one of them times where Karen cussing out Pam would have been well warranted. Seriously, you want to work a get rich quick scheme in the midst of us trying to restart the salon. You would think Pam would be looking at the money closer than Karen, because remember, she didn't want to get a second job, nor did she want to help Karen run a salon out of her apartment. So it's like, hey, Karen, let's me and you look at these books. And plus they had to, I mean, I know that Brian left the job and there's a new contractor, but we don't know if um if it cost any more than what Brian, because Brian was giving her all kinds of great deals. We don't know if this new contractor is doing the same. So that could have freaked up the money flow right there. And then you got Pam spending who knows how much money on this ridiculous stuff to try to make a side hustle when it's like, no, you get the business together. And when you have some extra income, that's when you could start, because Pam could save up her money and get her own supplies. And then, hey, Karen, let me sell this supply out of your salon. And, if it brings in a lot of money, you get a cut of that. But no, she's just being childish. I want to know what Penelope overheard and saw. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the episode. It had me in my feelings about Zach. Not it's not even it's not even the fact that Zach doesn't have the solid DNA test results. It's the fact that he seemingly doesn't want to do it when Fatima has been pleading the case since season 4. If this is Zach's baby, we'll get a DNA test. So I don't know why all of a sudden these characters are like, no, I don't want to get it. Karen showed up at the brunch and no one saw her. You would think Fatima would have saw her, because Fatima was right, in that peripheral vision. No, not she could have looked straight ahead and saw Karen. But the fact that Karen didn't want to go, but then showed up, but then got in her feelings because Fatima was there, and then she left. I'm surprised we didn't revisit that this episode. And can we talk about the pacing? Can we talk about the pacing? This episode moved at a great speed because, in a previous season, they would have mentioned the brunch in this episode, but it probably wouldn't have happened for another 5 episodes. See, that's the thing that confused me too, because Andy cut a check to cover the expenses of repairing the old salon. But then Brian kept pushing her to get the new building, and he kept saying, "Oh no, it will cost the same." So here's my theory, Rebecca. This is my theory. I think Karen used the check that Andy gave her to buy the building, and then she took out a business loan to set up shop in the new building, but the expenses are coming up a bit too much. I could be wrong, but I'm trying to make as much sense of this as you are. Yeah, Fatima did have a look on her face where I'm like, did she see Karen? You know, they saw the restaurant wasn't that big. Hey, well, remember how they didn't see Gary in Jordan's backyard or back porch? And it's like when they walked out the door, they could have seen Gary over there. I just started watching the second episodes. He never washes. Yeah, he never washed his hands. In Zach's mind, Karen only was with him and Aaron. So yeah, he has way too much on the line to be this naive about it. Like just get the DNA test and put it into it. And so did Andy Noki. Who in the world is dressing Karen? She looks ridiculous. I thought she looked kind of cute in the purple sweats. I don't know. No, Zach knew, he said himself. Yeah, Zach doesn't know Karen was with another dude besides him and Aaron. I said that. I did a video. I said, is Zach focused on Karen's baby because he doesn't have Michael? It's like displaced emotion. Like if Michael was there, he wouldn't even be thinking about Zach Jr. Why did they have Zach so adamant on telling Fatima that Karen didn't have Zach's DNA and telling Fatima that we didn't even know if Aaron and Zach were the only men that Karen was with? I think it's the tucked in shirt. Yep, that's probably what it was. They let everybody go home to be lovey-dovey. I said that in my trailer breakdown. I said, man, you got all these women a bit tipsy going home to get it on, and yet here we go. Here we go. Zach and Fatima got to have some dang drama. Does the new dude with Danny sound like Preston Country Talk? I don't know. I got to listen to his speech pattern again. Oh, yeah. Let me check my notes real quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. See, this is what's confusing me because on my end, the screen, the timer kind of freezes up. So I don't even know how many people are watching. I think it's 211. I could be wrong. And like I said, I'm checking my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. And another thing, it's like Danny being dismissive towards therapy. It's like the video I did leading into the episode where I said, you know what? I'm not completely mad at Danny. This is within character. In real life, people do dismiss therapy like this, but we do know she's going. But this is what again makes me mad about how they wrote Fatima. Oh, I went to therapy and it's working wonders for me. But then when she's with Zach, she's right back to her old self. I hate that. I hate that they do that. Also, I don't know if anybody from the show is watching this live, but maybe you'll watch the playback. Shout out to the writers. The post I made last week about the complaints about the first episode, where basically I just said, look, this episode is a lot to take in. The new writers came in, they have a lot of work to do, and just give them some time to cook. A bunch of the writers follow me on Twitter and Instagram, which I think is pretty cool. So just kudos to them. And this episode pretty much proved my point. Like, let them give him some time. Give him some time. Yeah, but the Sage therapist and whatnot, that sounded more like a Sabrina therapist than a Fatima therapist. Look, Zach is being insensitive to Fatima by calling the baby Zach Jr. He's out of touch. I'm sorry, but I got to disagree. Even if you want to say he's not being sensitive to Fatima, keep in mind, this is not her baby. Well, Jeremy, if Fatima does stick with Zach, then technically that baby is going to be a part of her life. You're not wrong. But here's the thing, though. If Fatima is really in her feelings about it, which it seems to be the case, thank you. She needs to express to Zach that she wants their future child to be Zach Jr. But instead, we got this crappy drama. Look, I'm not against Zach and Fatima drama because they're not a perfect couple. But when it's just juvenile, immature, just crap, that's what I hate. Because Zach is just an airhead and Fatima is in her feelings but won't say why. You can do better than that. That's the one gripe I have about the episode. One of two. Not too much to say about the Maurice stuff. If I were Sabrina, I would not have touched those handcuffs. I would not have touched those handcuffs. I love the fact that that delivery guy Trey was kind of flirting with Karen, but not Pam. Yeah, I was thinking that too. If the baby's a girl, Zach Jr.'s out the window anyway. Yeah, I was excited about the idea of the wedding date, but then when you look at how Zach and Fatima were acting towards the end of the episode, well, mainly Fatima, it's just like, I don't even want to date. No, just don't. I'm Y'all can feel how you want about Zach, and I know that people are going to be like, there you go, defending Zach. I'm not feeling what Fatima's doing. This is the same shit that made me not like the character in season 5. This is the same stuff from season 5 that pissed me off. And Zatima season 2. And the latter half of season 1. And some of season 6 during the beginning. We ain't ever going to get rid of the baby daddy drama. I hope Zach doesn't have any of his money. And yeah, I don't think he does. But remember, Bryce works for / with Gary. So I wonder if that's going to impact Rise Ventures, because we do know there is that one picture from season 7 of Zach giving a dirty look to Gary. So we might see some crossover there. Sorry for the camera shaking. I'm sending a tweet. Don't forget that Bryce works at Gary's firm, and in turn, that might impact his business with Zach. Oh yeah, have y'all been watching Zatima on BET on Tuesday nights? I have not, because I've reviewed all the episodes. Zach is being an idiot, but it doesn't help that Fatima isn't speaking up. Enough said. That sums up everything. That sums up everything. Karen is because look, is Fatima right? Absolutely. But when you look at it from Zach's perspective, it's Fatima lashing out. Like, look, Fatima, you're just tripping because I know, you're dealing with a lot since I got another kid. If Fatima, how can Fatima just calmly express how she feels to the girls, but not her man? This is what she did in season 5. She would talk to Andy, she would talk to Angela, but then she would yell at Zach. Yeah, I'm glad she said, look, I'm not leaving, but Zach has seen this script too many times. Like, as soon as Fatima says, Zach, I love you, and it's like, here we go. Karen should not have torn up Zach's check. Too late now. Karen is always calling everybody else broke, but it seems like she's the one always having money issues. Zach paid her back. Andy gives her money. I wonder if she doesn't have her. I will never forgive Karen for not reinstating the insurance on her salon after Zach gave her that $77,000. That was just stupid. If she hadn't done that, she wouldn't even be in this predicament now. Also, one of my favorite moments was when Sabrina was on the phone congratulating that couple for getting a house. I felt that because that was me last year when they're like, you got approved for a mortgage. I was like, ah. So I appreciated that. Fatima needs to work on her goals, going to law school. However, Zach needs that DNA. I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things where you would think they would have been talking more about the wedding. Well, no, actually, it makes sense because there's been Zach has been more preoccupied with Michael than getting married, which makes a lot of sense. It's hard to even think about getting married when your son is with a foster family. Yes, Fatima should speak up, but Zach seems to never consider her feelings either. Zach and Karen's name for their kid has nothing to do with Fatima. I'm sorry. Feel how you want to feel. Sorry. Readjusting my position in the chair. What I just said, it doesn't matter It doesn't matter how Zach doesn't even like a man talking to Fatima, let alone if she's trying to name a baby after another man. That's true. Well, Dr. Reed was never Fatima's therapist. And Fatima did state she had a therapist in her 20s. So continuity wise, this works. It was better than last week. They changed Zach to be me. Yeah. Because I can see, because in the next episode, it looks like the lights go out at the building, signaling that things aren't looking up. And it does say grand openings and grand closings. That's the name of the episode. And the opening day is going to be set with so many problems. So I figured that Karen's going to have to deal with a lot. Well, Zach is talking about setting up a trust fund for your kids, so maybe you can ask him for that money to use it on your salon. Who do you think going to cut the lights out on? I don't know. Please, oh yeah, please get the likes up. Yo, can we talk about last week? So first of all, season 7's premiere was the highest rated episode in terms of views, ratings, the highest rated episode of the series. Then on top of that, my live stream over 50,000 views. And I mean, in one day, that live stream I did last Wednesday night became the most viewed live stream I have ever done. One night. That was crazy. I felt like the Cat Williams interview. If I had a video that did 41 million views, I'd be set. But Zach and Fatima are engaged, and Fatima's feelings should be considered. I'm just saying, though. Okay, let's say let me just say, okay, well, even if I said, you know what, I think Zach is fully wrong. He's not considering Fatima's feelings. Okay, but you know what the problem is? Fatima is not speaking up. If we can agree on that, we're going to be cool. Because regardless as to whether or not Zach is wrong or right for wanting to name his baby with Karen what he wants to name it, if Fatima isn't feeling it, then Fatima, hey, she should say it. Zach can't consider Fatima's feelings if she doesn't say them. Thank you. Jeremy, you are the bomb. Boom. I agree. They have communication issues. And it sucks because I thought we moved past this. I really thought we moved past this. Why did they do new pro? Oh yeah, I honestly thought that we would get a new opening title sequence for episode 2 like we did in season 3, but it seems we're just going to have the same opening all season. Oh well. 2 episodes in, I'm already stressed. Yeah, I mean, this episode was good. Yeah, I'm getting DMs. A lot of people aren't feeling the new actor who portrays Jordan. Honestly, I don't. It really doesn't matter for 2 reasons. One, the season has already been filmed, and 2, what you gonna do? Yeah, season 6 showed us that they were going to start communicating better, but episode 2 is saying, never mind. Exactly, we're doing a whole lot of regression. This is just like the beginning of season 6, where these two were on one accord over Michael, but then the moment Zach threw a fit about Karen in the salon, all that went out the window. They need couple therapy. Yeah. See, I can't wait to move. I'm tired of this chair making all this noise. A trust for the baby wouldn't be available. Cash for Karen's baby. Ah, good point. Good point. Also, can we talk about the fact that I know that in court, a couple married or on the cusp of getting married looks good for a custody battle, but I'm pretty certain Zach and Fatima's situation is much better than Heather having all those boyfriends running around. Do you think the investors that are pulling out were for the law firm or his investors? I don't know. I got to look into that. That's a good question, though. That's a good question. I meant to say her salon. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I guess Sabrina might word it where, hey, maybe you can ask Zach for the money for your salon rather than a trust for the baby, kind of like pseudo child support. Do you think that comment that Danny made at brunch might be the reason why they're saying she betrayed Karen? Oh, you mean the whole, oh, you don't think if that's his baby, the investors pulling out could be Robin behind the scenes? I'd love that. Now, somebody said that Gary was under investigation. That's what Robin said. I thought he said that Hayden was under investigation. And it look, like I said, it's hard to really pin it on the new writers because Tyler kind of made a mess of continuity anyway. No, I still have not listened to that Twitter space. Yeah, folks, that Fatima never went to therapy in Zatima. Dr. Reed was there for Zach. He did make a point to kind of talk about Bryce, talk about Angela. He really didn't say much to Fatima. Fatima went to therapy in like her 20s or something. Yeah, it was Hayden that Robin said. You're right. Yeah, I remember. I knew I remembered it. No, I think episode 4 is the dead body. And we don't even know if it's a dead body. We just know that it's somebody allegedly on a stretcher. See, I like the way the FBI thing is being handled this season compared to season 1. It seems way more realistic. Yeah, exactly. Because I know for a long time it's like, no, Jeremy, Robin said Gary's going to be investigated by the feds. And I'm like, no, he didn't. So could it be possible Annie will lose her penthouse due to the FBI investigation? Man, consequences and repercussions. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. She could. So, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the car, the house, the clothes. He's probably going to show support, but in the promo, it looks like Miss Lisa jumps in his ride before he gets out, kind of like to stop, kind of like, hey, it's sweet you want to show up, but this is her day, and I don't want you to kind of ruin it. So, can you please go? Plus, I want to know, I want to know if Miss Lisa is going to talk about Aaron. It's like, where's the preacher at? Hey, the penthouse is, yeah, she will because I included with Gary Stupid behind investment. Penthouse and all that stuff, it's in Andy's name. She paid the property taxes on it. It could be like take okay. I mean, could be made that she might not lose her stuff, but she's probably going to be under investigation. We'll just have to wait and see. Shoot, that guy at the end talking to Gary about the investors, $50 million. Who you think you got? Chelsea Clinton? No, $50 million about the investments. No FCC. I find it hilarious that Hayden tried to get Gary to get the FCC to take down Zach, and now the FCC's after his ass. The FBI's at my house, man, looking for you. Jeremy, can Andy lose the penthouse? I don't know yet. At this point, everybody on the show needs therapy. I said Dr. Reed needs to show up. That's a guaranteed season contract right there. Something to that effect. Yeah, Zach's demands. I'm thinking either the DNA test or naming the kid Zach Jr. I don't think he's going to the. I don't think he's going to the salon opening. Hey, Karen, congrats on your new salon. Here's some flowers. Oh yeah, can you get a DNA test? No. Gary got all type of girls in different area codes because now he's flying someone out. Yep. But this seems to be someone who's like a work associate, because I think that she was giving him information or something. They can seize everything Gary touched. It's just like at the in season 2 when her office got raided, when they took her apartment, because what was it? Gary asked Andy to put money in his account and then gave the information to his banker, and then that drained her money, and then they took her apartment and everything. So the same thing could be happening now. I think Gary's going to get what's coming to him. Yep, my tables have turned. And yeah, like I said, this is all piling up in terms of Gary becoming more and more unhinged. Then on top of that, we know that things are rough at home with Penelope's, like she regrets taking him back. And yeah, not to mention, why would Fatima think the flowers were for her after the argument they just had? It's like he didn't have to apologize. If she doesn't deposit the money, she would have been fine. Yep. Ooh, that would be smart. Long-term game. Yeah, if I go down, Andy, you going down with me because you betrayed me. Yeah, this is a good, somebody mentioned earlier, it would be very cool if Robin is somehow behind the scenes orchestrating this entire thing. He could have at least bought 2 flowers. Nah, I wouldn't have done it. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Jeremy, did Gary have any clients at Andy's off? Hey, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Gary kind of join forces with the law firm when Robin was there? They had that big contract where it's like the investors kind of bled into the law firm, and then that's how they booted Robin out. So Gary being tied up with the law firm, that's why it's all pandemonium. Because remember, those people are swarming at the law firm like bees. So yeah, this is going to take down a lot of people. And this is why Penelope is going to come up missing. Do you think that Hayden is part of the FBI? No, no. I know it's weird how they wrote it. Season 2, these two didn't know each other. Then as the series went on, they're kind of like best buds and they've known each other for a while. Now it's like, we ain't even cool like that. Zach Jr. is crazy. I don't think I'd want to name my son a junior. Nah. Yeah, there we go. Gary had a merger with the law firm and some shady investors. Yeah, that dang loan shark. Yeah, it's only been 2 episodes. Give us some time. Oh yeah, I saw the report Tyler Perry's BET shows to be available on different platforms on digital. I wonder what that means for certain shows. Like imagine, I have no doubt in my mind if Tyler Perry shows went to Netflix, the numbers would be astronomical. I mean, for me, that would actually be cool because I think that the more people who watch the shows would search for them on like YouTube, and my videos would shoot up as a result. So it's a win-win. But I'm telling you now, if Zatima or Sistas or The Oval, if they were on Netflix, they would do crazy views. I've been saying that for years, even going back to like if Loving You Is Wrong and whatnot. Don't put them on Hulu, put them on the biggest platform. Do it. They'll get the views. I think Hayden is harboring resentment towards Gary for exposing Tamara. Kind of. What's aggravating me with Gary is him constantly saying he bought Andy a penthouse and did this and that. She didn't ask for any of it. Well, look at Karen. All the time she dragged Zach's name through the mud for everything she did for him. Well, way more people have Netflix than BET Plus. Okay, well, I think we talked about the episode itself. What else is there to talk about? Like I said, I'm going to watch The Oval probably about 20 minutes. I don't know about a season 8. Also, not Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is crazy. Oh yeah, side note. I got Netflix back just to watch the latest Dave Chappelle special. I did not like it. I don't know. I'm probably not going to do that again. It's like Chappelle, his like first two stand-ups, classics, but I don't know. It's just him versus. Oh, you can't hear me? Great. This is great. I hate when this happens. I hate when this happens. Yeah, he did sign with Netflix, which is why I think he ought to put his shows on that platform. The Oval is meh. Overall, I heard it was good. Okay. A couple seconds. If it doesn't cut back on, I will have to end the live stream. A lot of people are saying go out of the live stream and come back and you can hear me. There's nothing I can do. You can hear me. Okay, a lot of people are saying they can hear me. So there we go. Yeah, the Dave Chappelle thing, it's like, I don't know. You hear me? Okay, good, good. Okay. In any case, it's just one of those things where Chappelle, it's just him versus the alphabet community. And the fact that every special is that, I don't care. But the Cat Williams interview, way funnier. Way funnier. Way funnier. I mean, I've watched that dang interview 4 times. You got to tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 3 months. I mean, look, in the day and age we live in, it's not uncommon to mention family plans on the first date. Because I remember, like in college, going on a date was like a dang job interview. So, what are you studying? What are your plans in the next 5 years? Where do you plan on moving to a different state, closer to your family, or off doing this? Like, when do you plan on getting married? How many kids do you have? Stuff like that. So for 3 months of seeing each other, knowing each other, but then not knowing Rich doesn't want to have kids is really weird. Zach is not the father of Karen's child. I think that's what they're building up towards. I think that's what they're building up towards. And then they're gonna make Zach look like an idiot for not wanting to be sure. And then Fatima's gonna be right because she was the one who was cautious. But the way they're going about it is bad. Yeah, that dude can run fast. I mean, it might not be a 4 second thing, but it was like right under 5. So Sabrina's so silly. So like Sabrina's committed to Rich. Yep. All the girls are in relationships now, which is very odd because I'm so you except for Karen. I'm not convinced that he is the father yet. I don't care what Karen say. I know when she did say stupid, I'm like, that was rude. Fatima need to tell Zach how she feel. I'm like, Zach's like, look, I've been home. I ain't talked to nobody. I ain't do nothing. I mean, I feel the same way. Hey, I'm about to go to the gym, baby. How was brunch? What the? DeVal did say Zach would be disappointed if the baby wasn't his. I feel like I remember him saying that. Man, Danny should have stayed with Preston. Mm-mm. All right. Well, I'm about to get off here because we've been up for almost an hour. I might get on Instagram. I don't know. I might get on Instagram right now. What do you think? Should I get on Instagram right now? Just to kind of, kind of keep up consistency? 'Cause I think we talked about the episode enough. I got a few videos to do tomorrow. Also, my nephew, he might have another day off school, which I hope he does not, because it was flooding around here and everything. He's on a 2-hour delay right now. Sabrina didn't even want a relationship with Calvin. Oh, Sabrina having to make real decisions matures her. Yeah, this would be really great for her to mature. Oh yeah, here's my IG. That's my username. So if you have not followed me on Instagram, make sure you do so. I would hate for the kid to be named Zach Jr. because she's going to still be bitter. It's like, you look just like your daddy and you name Zach too. So she'll like take all that resentment out on the kid. That would suck. It's like Sabrina around and wait around for you to choose him. It's like, it's been 3 months and you're dating someone else. So he up and left town. And then with Preston, it's like, you're in a relationship with Danny, yet she's entertaining another man's attention. Get the heck out of there. Yeah, that's what kind of made me scratch my head this episode. She's on the phone with Karen. I guess the conversation about that loan, about having a family and whatnot, got her thinking about it. But I'm just like, Danny, like you the buzz kills. Like you had to bring up marriage and kids. Thank you. They play all these games, but then they get in their feelings when the men move on. But is it possible that Sabrina misses Calvin just as a friend? I got a question for you. Even though we don't know because it wasn't mentioned during the 3-month time skip when she was dating Rich, I wonder how many times, if ever, she saw Calvin or talked with him. I'm just saying. Zach Taylor, too, has a ring to it. Are these writers trying to get Zach and Karen back together? I hope not. I don't think any of these relationships will last. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they all have a reason to fail. With Sabrina, it's like Rich not wanting commitment, well, marriage or kids. The Tony thing, his ex-wife might prove to be too much for Danny. And with Andy, the Jordan, being connected to, well, Jordan might wind up dead. I don't know. I don't know if Sabrina will Mr. Right yet. Yeah. Okay, folks. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. I might hop on Instagram for a little while, probably like 30 minutes or so. And then I'll watch the Oval, or I might just go to sleep, wake up early, get some stuff done, go from there. But yeah, make sure you check out the channel. I uploaded a bunch of videos today. Tomorrow I'll do the same and go. But thanks for everybody who sent me the trailer. Hopefully they drop. Actually, let me see if I can check the Sistas page because last week they dropped the 30-second promo directly after the episode. So let me see if they did something like that this week. Just bear with me. Oh yeah, it sucks, but bruh is canceled. No, they did not drop it. Oh well. Cool. All right. Peace.